Me and my girlfriend have been dating since August 2020, but we've known each other since around July 2019. When we first met, we were friends with benefits, but really emphasis on friends first. We were close, but I don't think I was the best person to her. I made a lot of mean jokes and belittled her way too much. It was the way I treated my guy friends, but to her it was way too mean. I changed completely like a light switch flipped when she sat me down and told me I needed to be nicer to her, or I'd lose her. From that moment forward, I got it, and I was. She's been severely depressed most of her life. She hates everyone she knows, not an exaggeration, literally everyone, except me. I've been her only friend since the first time we met, and we've gotten along great. The conversations we have are unlike ones I've ever had with anyone else, and with time I've learned how she's kind, caring, sweet, the funniest person I've ever met, so smart and genuine. I know it's not healthy to only have one friend or to be that only person that someone relies on. I get it. But frankly, we were both happy, whether it was healthy or not. Around April 2020, I moved to Canada. We still weren't official, but it was hard for both of us. We talked every day, and after a fight of some kind, I think it was about her ducking other people, we weren't dating, but I wasn't doing that, and it made me feel bad because I had been trying so hard to treat her kindly after she informed me of how she felt before. We decided to start officially and exclusively dating in August 2020. Things actually went really well. We called every day, both did school and lived our lives, but we were happy with each other. I felt very capable of doing long distance. I became more and more reliant on her as time went on. She's been my best friend and closest friend for so long, I didn't really need anyone else. I had other friends and acquaintances and people to talk to, but at the end of the day she was the only one that mattered. She comforted me, made me laugh, made me happy, and made my life better every day. When the border closed and she realized we wouldn't be able to see each other for Christmas like we'd been planning, she got really down, and I tried to comfort her. She started believing the border would never open or, secretly to herself, she thought we wouldn't last until it did. These doubts are still a shock to me because we were only a few months in and I felt rock solid. This is when she decided to cheat, where she assumed a fake identity and went out. It was in mid-November 2020 that she downloaded Tinder secretly and started ducking other people, 2 to be exact, 1 once and 1 repeated times. This continued all the way into January 2021, and she estimated it happened a total of 5 times, but I don't really trust it just because it. I had no idea, her being a good liar plus my busy schedule plus long distance. She says she did it because she had nothing to do, which was true at the time, and it gave her a sense of meaning. She wasn't going to school and she had no friends, so she spent every day inside alone when I wasn't on my phone. I still don't accept that excuse or forgive her, but it's some reasoning. She says she got obsessed to the feeling of having something to do, even if she hated what she was doing. Going through Christmas and her birthday, which was also in December, which I made a really thoughtful gift for and spent a lot of time on, she was cheating and lying to me every day, and I had no idea. She felt really remorseful for what she had done, and it was eating away at her, making her depression worse. It got so bad she ended up checking herself into a residential treatment center in January. I never knew that was why. She got out a month later, feeling guilty and horrible and no better, but still hiding it from me. She stopped responding to her side chick's texts, the guy who she'd go back to every once in a while, but she kept him on Snapchat. Not responding and leaving him on read, but not unadding or blocking. I still had no idea about any of this. Time keeps going by, I still think everything is great, and I'm super happy with our relationship. She seems super happy too, as dependent on me as I am on her. I felt like the way we got each other was perfect. I know we're young, but we were planning on getting married once we were both through college and financially stable. One night at the beach when she was wasted with her girlfriend, who we'd talked about maybe having a 3 guys with, she kissed her girlfriend. She lied about it for about a week when I asked her directly because she had acted weird, but she eventually confessed. I was angry, but I let it go considering she was drunk, and it was the only instance of cheating I knew about. Time goes by, we work things out, she feels really guilty, things go back to normal, and we're good. Eventually we see the border is opening in July, and I halt a lot of my plans and screw myself a little for the future so that I can travel to go see her. 9 days before this, she texts her side chick some pictures of her friend, yes, the same one from before, because her friend apparently wanted to hook up with him. She didn't do anything, but it bothers me that they were in contact at all. I went to see her, we lived together for 3 weeks, life is great and things are going amazing. I leave and she actually comes back to Canada and lives with me for another 3 weeks. Things go great, life is great, all is well. I still have no idea of what happened. She decides she wants to come to Canada for my birthday and Halloween, they're a day apart, so she finds enough money to make it happen. She gives me really sweet and thoughtful gifts, and a wonderful card. A week goes by and I don't remember why, but for whatever reason, when she was asleep I decided to go through her phone. I didn't expect to find anything at all, I felt stupid while I was doing it, but then when looking at her emails I found a Tinder verification code from a year ago. I checked the camera roll from a year ago, and then I check some messages, and I find everything. I ask her to leave me alone for the day, I tell her I know what happened, and I'd like some space to think to myself. She listens and feels horrible. Later I talk to her, asking for details and all that. She gives them, visually I can see she feels horrible during this. I spend my time thinking and eventually decide that when she goes back home we need to take a break. I tell her that I might sleep with other people during this break, and she is not allowed to. She accepts this, but makes some rules, nothing in our bed, no cuddling, they were things she avoided with her cheats. The rules seemed fair enough, they proved she only did hers for the sake of doing something, she had no emotional connection with them at all, she actually hated them. She went home 3 weeks ago. I haven't slept with anyone else, I don't really want to. I've had chances via Tinder, but it's just not something that would make me happy. I broke our break 2 days in because I was miserable not talking to her, I felt so alone. She comforted me and answered any questions I wanted and carried conversations to make me feel better. She let me be mad and yell at her, and we'd only call when I wanted to. I've entered a pretty severe depression since she's been gone and I've been alone, struggling to eat, sleep, or find motivation for anything. That's everything that's happened. Oh, one last thing, the dirty talk that we used together, which was her idea, was the same dirty talk she used with them. IDK, just one last tidbit that made me feel extra worthless and used. These are my thoughts. It's my decision if I want the relationship to continue. I moderately trust her not to cheat again, though if she wanted to it's not like I'd have any way of knowing, but I don't know how to forgive her for what she did already. I don't know if I can, and I don't know if the relationship can continue. Here are some of my feelings since finding out. Empty/hollow inside, unmotivated to do anything at all, really, anger, the angriest I've ever been. Pure rage. Any small thing can set it off and ruin a whole day, regret, forever treating her with the kindness I did. She did a horrible thing and got away with it for so long, and I was treated like a queen while she was getting away with it. Conflict. I don't think she's replaceable in any way. I don't want to be with anyone else, but I don't know if I can ever be with her again. Emasculated. The guy she's ducking gets to feel like king and put in no effort while I was working so hard to get cheated on. I'm a ducking loser. I am pathetic. Lack of trust. I had no idea before, how would I ever know to pick up on it again? She's too good a liar, manipulated into thinking I could trust her. I hate being touched by her in any way. I hate when she looks at me or talks to me or anything. It just makes me think of how she did that with other people. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment 1. Bro, you're very young, just ended with her, believe me, you'll feel better over time and meet better people who would never cheat on you. And please don't cheat on her, cheating for revenge will always make you feel the same miserable way she does. And remember that cheaters only have remorse when they're caught, they only shed crocodile tears. Always remember that, and it will make it easier for you to move on. Comment 2. Dump her. She did it because she had nothing to do. What a lame but excuse. OP reply. I don't think it was an excuse, more so just reasoning, but you both her, and I know there's nothing that makes what she did okay. She knows there's no way around it, and the fact is she did a horrible thing, and she knows it. Cheating ex-wife calls for help cause she got pregnant, and AP turned out a very bad guy. Me, 31M, and my ex-wife, 29F, were married for 7 years, together for 9 before she cheated and left me for the other guy. Our divorce was finalized in March this year. The other guy is a playboy jerk who's probably 24-ish. It began from the end of last year, and in January of the current year, she tells me she wants a divorce. I found out they'd been talking for an entire year before it turned physical last year October. Divorce was smoothish as we didn't had any kids, she got the car, I kept my house and finances. After this, I was out of her life, she was out of mine. We never contacted each other except for 1 or 2 times, that too was when we saw each other when public. Her family is very conservative, and they basically cut her off after she cheated and divorced. She moved in with the other guy. During this time, I found out she also lost a lot of friends as the other guy tried to hit on them or insulted them. Her ex-sets of friends tried to get me involved in their fights, immature AF, but I included this part because these set of friends were the one to stand behind her after she had an affair, telling me she found herself, and I should probably let her go. I don't harbor any resentment towards her or the other guy. I didn't get involved with anyone during this period, because I was focused on my job and earning back my money which I lost on divorce. Here's where I need help. 2 days back, I get a call from one of my ex-wife's friends who told me my ex-wife wanted my number. I changed it after divorce. She didn't say much when I asked her why, and told me she needed to talk. I thought it was important as, mind you, we never had any contacts, so suddenly her wanting to talk to me created a sense of seriousness for which I tell her to give my number. Yesterday my ex-wife called, she sounded very creepy for real, she didn't have the voice she used to but it was broken, you could sense something was wrong. So I asked her what's up and she broke down crying. Went on from telling how great things were to how things are now. So the other guy is a manipulative and alcoholic POS who cheated on her multiple times in their 7 months relationship, put her in charge of finances which meant she got a job and she's pregnant. Now he doesn't want to be the father. So he's telling her she cheated, and he's misusing her, she has no place to go, and he wants in termination if she wants to be together. I asked her why she called me instead of the police. She told me she has nowhere else to go, none of her friends are willing to help her out, and that POS has friends in the department so she's scared if things go around. She can't contact her family because they don't want anything to do with her, so she's alone. Listening to her made me sad, it really did. I told her I can sympathize but can't do anything else because I don't want to be the third party. I told her whatever relationship we had with each other is over, and she's on her own now. Why should I stand up for her when she's no one to me? Besides, they're a couple now. They're dating and she's the one earning, she has the upper hand. I gave her advices to save funds and run away silently if she doesn't want in termination. It was a 17 minutes call and she basically wanted to talk more, but I told her I was busy and cut her off. She did mention she was sorry to treat me and leave me. I honestly don't care about that. I told her to contact me only when it's necessary, because I really don't want to hear from her anymore. Yesterday night I gave it a deep thought and felt I should do something because no one deserves this kind of misuse. But I don't want to get in between because getting in between will blow up my own peace. I'm looking for advice if I can do anything to help her out. I called her family and they told me they want nothing to do with her because she is already dead to them. We have reached the end of the story. Let's listen to some of the comments by our Reddit listeners. Comment: This is tough because I understand that you are a decent person and want to help, but there is literally no way this doesn't blow up in your face in a major way. Maybe you can call the friend who reached out for your number and ask them why they aren't helping out. You have already called her family. Kind of feel that's the extent of what you can do. OP reply: Please try to understand that we have been together for 9 years. It wasn't easy to let her go, and I honestly do not harbor any feelings, neither resentment or love, in my heart. But I'm worried about her. She felt nothing like she was before, her voice could tell. I'm worried if she tries to end her life. I'm caught in between trying to help her or not, and I do not wish to make a decision which might harm anyone. Comment 2. I'm not saying take her back, but obviously this woman needs help, and you admit to wanting to help her. From your post, I can tell you don't want to be with her, so try to avoid that if you do end up helping her. As a survivor myself, I wonder if she is lying to try to win your sympathy back and get back into your life, so use caution. Maybe make her a bed on the couch, or spare room, or even a sleeping bag on the ground away from your bedroom. I would also tell her as soon as I agree to help that you don't want to get back into things, and set your boundaries right away. OP, reply. Thank you tremendously for this advice. I have no intention of getting back with her. I don't have any feelings of either resentment or love towards her. I'm worried about her pregnancy and she has nowhere to go. If she does something horrible, I'll regret it for life, saying to myself I could have helped her but chose not to.